1,000 subs by February, which is my anniversary, which is would be really nice. If I'm being honest, that would be absolutely crazy. But anyways, I think that's it. I think that's everything. So let us get started. Alrighty, so at least for me, these are not in any sort of specific order or anything like that. It's kind of hard, at least for me, to pick my favorite feel-good movie of all time. That's really tough to do. I usually just have like a group of movies that I watch from time to time. And again, no matter what I'm doing, what mood I'm in, what time of year, I can put this movie on and instantly just feel a lot better. Or it is a movie that I really enjoy, that it's re-watchable very easily. So the first one, for some reason that came to my mind, again, this isn't my favorite, but it's definitely one of my favorite ones. It's kind of embarrassing. It's the first one that came to my mind, but it's not even that great of a movie. But Paul Blart Mall Cop, one of my favorite feel-good movies of all time. Now I know this isn't like a typical feel-good movie. You know, you could probably Google what's a feel-good movie, and it's probably gonna come out with some sort of weird like answer, like, oh, it's a movie that has a lot of feeling and emotion and plot and blah blah blah. But for me, a feel-good movie is just, again, a movie I can put on whenever, and I love it. And this is definitely one of those movies. Now, if you don't know this movie, which would suck, I'll read the plot. A single suburban father, played by Kevin James, which is another sort of actor that I love in these sort of feel-good movies. I feel like Kevin James is one of those actors in a lot of movies that are really easy to watch. Works at a mall as a security guard to make ends meet, and he takes his job very seriously, even though most of his colleagues and customers don't. As the holidays approach, Paul gets his moment to shine when Santa's little helpers shut down the mall and take hostages, including his daughter and girlfriend. Realizing no one knows a better place than he does. No one knows this place better than he does, and he mounts his trusty steed, a Segway, and goes to the rescue. So basically, yeah, the mall that he works at as a mall cop, obviously by the name, gets robbed. Basically, there's a bank inside the mall, and they try to rob the bank inside the mall, and it's kind of an intense moment, actually. Like, they take hostages and stuff. It's kind of like weirdly intense, and he's the only guy in there, and he's the right guy for the job. Obviously, he knows the mall inside and out. So I like the movie. I think it's funny. I think it's very easy to watch. It's just like, you know, slapstick, funny, you know, jokey comedy. It's kind of like the traditional stuff, and I think it's good. I love this sort of time of year. Again, it's Christmas. I love the mall during Christmas times, and obviously they have like all of like their Christmas stuff up in the mall as well. So it's like, oh, it's kind of cool, kind of Christmassy vibe going on, but also this funny plot going on. And yeah, I think it's really nice to watch. One of my favorite moments is definitely when he's like running around the mall, because that's definitely also kind of like a childhood fantasy of like being in a mall by yourself, like with all the stores, like all the merchandise. Like, ooh, that'd be kind of fun to do, and he kind of does it in this movie. He also obviously has that really funny scene where he like slides behind like the mall sort of map guide thing, and he slides behind it. That part's pretty funny. But yeah, it's kind of funny. Well, not really funny, kind of interesting that and it is a 34% on Rotten Tomatoes, and has a 43% audience score as well. If you've seen this movie, do you like it or not? I like it. I think it's good. Like, I would pay money to like buy this movie, have like a hard copy of it, which I wouldn't say for a lot of movies. So I don't know. It might be. Is this movie stupid? I have no idea. And like, again, it's just, for me personally, it's just a feel-good movie. So that's definitely one of the ones I thought of. Next up, another movie, and another sort of actor that ties along with me having a lot of like, I guess feel-good movie ties to. It's Vince Vaughn. So Vince Vaughn is definitely one of those actors, kind of like Kevin James, where he makes a bunch of movies that I just enjoy. There's one that I guess you can maybe tie into the sort of feel-good movie aspect is the interview, the internship. Sorry, the internship. Him and Owen Wilson. That's a really funny movie. I actually enjoy that one as well. But there's one that's better than that, and that's why I'm putting that one at sort of in the listing of some of my favorite ones. It's Wedding Crashers. another Vince Vaughn, Owen Wilson movie, Wedding Crashers. That was made in 2005 and has a 76% on Rotten Tomatoes, so it's certified fresh, I guess, which is kind of good. And it's a 70% on the audience rating. Also, let's read the description of this movie. Jeremy, played by Vince Vaughn, and John, played by Owen Wilson, are divorced mediators who spend their free time crashing wedding receptions. So they, I guess, get news about a big-time wedding that is going on in their area, which I think is in Washington, D.C., and I guess they sort of find it as a game or an opportunity, or they just do it just to do it, to crash the wedding, show up, and just sort of, I guess, improv them being a part of the wedding in some sort of way. And it's also an easy way to score girls, which is kind of funny, but also it's just a fun experience, I guess, for them to sort of improv and see if they can, like, get away with it, I guess. Yeah, that's what it says here. To continue on, it says, so when Secretary of the Treasury William, played by Christopher Walken, very good actor, announces the wedding of his daughter, the pair make it their mission to crash the high-profile event. But their game hits a bump on the road when John locks eyes with bridesmaid Claire, played by Rachel McAdams. Interesting, yeah. So basically, obviously, you get this plot of these two guys, these two bachelors, crashing weddings, yada yada yada, but one of them ends up falling in love. I guess love at first sight with one of the girls at this specific wedding, and bada bing, bada boom, this whole ordeal happens, and it turns out that that girl that he falls in love with, love at first sight, is actually, going to get married. He already has a boyfriend, yada yada yada. So it's a pretty funny thing that happens throughout the entire movie, and yeah, it's definitely more of a raunchier movie than Ballpark. I think it's rated R, actually, now that I think about it. So it's a lot raunchier, a little bit more adulty, which is very funny. I think the jokes in this movie are also extremely funny, and yeah, it's another just super easy sit-down, watchable movie, or even just a movie to have in the background. I think, again, like Vince Vaughn, definitely very funny, at least to me, very easygoing actors in it, Owen Wilson, and this movie really reminds me of when I used to, like, come home from school, like, back in the day, and it would just be like, it would be on TV, and I would, like, make my snack after school with this movie on. I would sit down and watch it. I remember that happening a handful of times, actually, and I don't know, it's just one of those feel-good movies where it's definitely a super raunchy movie, and it may not be like a I'm dying of laughter type of comedy, but just a very easygoing movie, so it's definitely, I think, up there, at least for me. And sort of quickly tying like a comedy sort of thing, very quickly, another sort of like super random like comedy movie that I really enjoy, and it's always, I swear to God, this movie is on every single day on TV. Grown Ups. I think Grown Ups is on literally every single day on TV. It is an 11% on Rotten Tomatoes, 62% for the audience score, which that's actually a pretty decent, I guess, scaling to go off of. Yeah, this one's also really good. I'm sure a lot of people have seen this movie already. It's a movie with, it has Adam Sandler, Chris Rock, Kevin James. Again, Kevin James, like I told you guys, it's usually movies that are with this guy that I kind of enjoy for some reason. Who else is in this? Oh, I'm trying to think. Rob Schneider, David Spade. I think that's all I can think of right now. But yeah, basically that whole group of comedians, and this is like definitely one of those movies where, like, I wish I had friends like this. I wish I can grow up and have like a group of friends that are still a group of friends when you're, 50 plus years old, 40 plus years old. Like, that would be so much fun. And it's basically just like, a group of friends that grew up very tight as kids, and they're still a pretty tight group. I think one of their basketball coaches dies, who was like a really big influence in their life, and basically they go to their childhood home, well, not childhood home, childhood town, and sort of their adventures that they have there, and they talk a lot about their past, stuff like that, and their kids that they have in the movie sort of go through like the same sort of experiences that they do, and it's a kind of like a big family telling of, like, I don't know, a big group of friends of guys who have just been close for their whole lives, and I think it's really cool. And it's a movie based in the summer, so it gives off a really good, like, summery vibes, and they do talk about basketball in it, which obviously I do enjoy, and yeah, the jokes are really funny. At least to me, they're pretty funny, and kind of like a slapstick type of comedy, kind of a lot like Paul Blart Mall Cop is kind of like that same type of comedy. And I don't know, I find it really entertaining. It's just a very good sit down, easy to watch movie, or again, background movie to watch. So I'm gonna try to do a different category now, or a different genre now. If I think of any more comedy movies, I can think about it, but I can obviously name off a bunch of comedy movies I do like, Step Brothers is one that's probably the most notorious one. I think that one's probably everyone's favorite sort of maybe comedy of all time. Elf, of course, as well. Man, what else is there? If I could think of like TV shows, like obviously The Office, comedy TV shows, that's definitely a good, like a one you could just easily put on whenever and feel instantly better. That's definitely a good one too. But for a different genre, as you guys know, big. You can see the ears behind me. Big fan of Disney. So basically, I could just say any Disney movie for this section. I mean, any type of Disney movie I love. I've said this before. If you guys have been following me for a while, I am probably just as into Disney as I am into basketball, and you guys have obviously known how much I'm into basketball. I'm probably just as much into Disney. So I love the parks, I love the history, I love the thought that goes into the movie making and the voice acting, the animation, all that jazz. I think it's super sick. So obviously any of their bigger budgeted movies, of course any of the Disney Pixar movies like Finding Nemo, The Incredibles. Can I think of any more? It's kind of hard to think about them on the spot like that. I mean, Tangled is great. Moana, also super great. Any other ones that I can think of? Basically, a lot of those early to mid 2000s ones are amazing. Even the later 2000s ones are amazing. Any of those Pixar movies, super great, super feel good, super easy to watch. Any of those are amazing. I mean, Up might be the best one. Ratatouille, absolutely amazing. The traditional Disney movies like Hercules and I don't know, any of those other ones, Pinocchio, those ones are all really good. Tarzan as well, Aladdin, those ones are good, but I think I'd probably say I would rather watch on a random day a Disney Pixar movie than just a Disney movie. I feel like they're just better. Maybe I love the Disney movies, like the traditional ones, like I just named off, Tarzan, Hercules, yada yada yada. But I think Finding Nemo, Incredibles, those ones are just they hit different. They're a little bit better, at least in my opinion. So, and also sort of for myself, at least having Disney Plus now, definitely watching a lot of the original Disney Channel movies. I absolutely love those. I've binged all of them. My favorite one of all time, Eddie's $1,000,000 Cookoff. If you have never seen Eddie's $1,000,000 Cookoff and you have Disney Plus, please go and watch this movie. It's basically about a kid who plays baseball, but he also discovers his love for cooking, and then he has to pick and choose between what he wants to do, and this juggling act between, being a really good baseball player, being basically the best baseball player in his town, or trying something new and different like cooking. And I think it's kind of a cool thing. It's also obviously ties into the channel, obviously having a big interest in sports, but also having interest in different things, and a juggling act between the two, which is kind of cool because it relates to the channel about, an interest in sports, but also having to juggle around other interests like I do on this channel. It's kind of cool. Now that I think about it, you guys again know, really big into Star Wars, really big into Marvel as well. But when I'm trying to think about feel-good movies, movies I can just put on, I can't really just put on a Star Wars movie or a Marvel movie. For me, I like to really sit down and watch those movies, really get I've seen it so many times over and over again, and I don't want to say it doesn't mean a lot to me. Maybe that's why it's super easy to watch, because I don't really care, I guess, all that much. Those are probably like the two movies I can probably just put on whenever, and they're easy to watch, and I love watching them. They're really good. And then when it comes to Marvel, again, ooh, man, I love Marvel movies so much. And again, I'm not gonna say like Avengers Endgame because it's the best one. Like, no, I'm not gonna say that Avengers Endgame is like you gotta like sit down and watch that movie. You know what I mean? If I could really think of one, like Thor Ragnarok, that's a good one. It's funny, it has action, the plots are good. It's very easy to sit down and watch. It's one of my favorite ones actually. It's what really made me want more of Thor, and really what made Thor my favorite Marvel superhero. He's definitely my favorite one now, and it's mostly because of how good he was in that movie. So that's definitely one. Maybe like the Ant-Man movie. That one's a pretty good one. It's good. The plot's good. I love Paul Rudd as an actor. That's also sort of like a feel-good one for me for a Marvel movie. Anything else? I'll probably stick with that. Yeah, because all of like the other Marvel movies, dude, I love to just sit and watch and get immersed and be like, oh well, that's how that happens, and this is how that happens, and you can see the plot thickening for the relationship between different superheroes, and I think it's really cool. And man, I can't wait for more Marvel stuff to come out. I'm super excited. I loved Spider-Man, No Way Home. No Way Home. That was just absolutely insane. I cannot wait to have another sort of moment like that in the movie theater. And it's addicting, man. I'm really trying to think of other ones. So comedy did. I'm trying to think of like action movies, horror movies that I'm trying to think of. I do really enjoy horror movies, but I don't really like just have a horror movie turn on. Or I don't just turn on a horror movie. You know what I mean? I gotta get in a mood for, my favorite horror movies. Probably the Halloween series. I really like the Halloween series with Michael Myers. It's probably my favorite sort of like thriller slasher movie. Those are ones that are really good, but it's not like I just put those on whenever. You know what I mean? And then for like action movies, I guess I did technically talk about Star Wars and Marvel, so that technically counts, I guess, as like an action movie, but I can't think of just like a random action movie that I just love to put on. Like again, like a 007 movie or a Die Hard movie. Like I've never really like connected with those movies a lot, so I never really watched them a whole lot. I've seen them, but I've never really like liked them. You know what I mean? So man, it's really tough to think about actually. And again, is why I really want to know your guys' opinion down in the comments, because I mean, you can pick one of the best movies of all time, like I said before, like Avengers Endgame. If that's like an easy to watch movie for you, then like yeah, you can definitely say that. If it could be a bad movie that no one likes, but you really do like I just talked about, like Paul Blart Mall Cop or Wedding Crashers. Maybe you don't like those movies, and I do. I find those movies entertaining. Then yeah, you can also say that, which I think is really dope. Oh, just thought of one. Sorry, that was kind of loud. I kind of had a blip in my head. Rush Hour. Rush Hour is definitely, I don't know why I didn't think about this. Rush Hour, any of them, Rush Hour 1, 2, 3, I would say all three of those movies are definitely tied into maybe being one of my favorites. Definitely Rush Hour 1. Rush Hour 1 is definitely one of those ones for me. Of course, with Jackie Chan, Chris Tucker. That duo is just so incredibly funny. It's insane. Obviously, if you've never seen those movies, super funny, sort of like a cop, I guess, comedy, you could say. A lot of action in it, a lot of jokes. Definitely happy that movie, or those movies even, are really coming out today, because man, those movies have some pretty interesting jokes, I guess, if I can say that. I don't know. They really make fun of each other and themselves a lot, which is kind of like the direction their relationship goes in. It's kind of like how they bond together, is how much they roast each other, I guess. And the action sequences are really cool. Obviously with Jackie Chan, like, this dude is obviously, if not the GOAT of sort of doing his own stunts and having amazing sort of choreography with his fighting sequences and stuff like that. Super amazing. And even Chris Tucker, maybe the funniest guy in the entire movie, even alongside Jackie Chan, and he also has some pretty good scenes in the movie as well. And I think the plot in these movies are actually pretty good, easy to follow as well. So like, it's like an easy, again, sort of put on movie whenever. I remember Rush Hour. We watched it maybe, I don't know, 4 times, 5 times going down to California. We maybe only watched 2 other movies besides Rush Hour, which is kind of funny. And I don't know, again, just another movie that really correlates and it is kind of connected to me in that sort of sense. But also, I think the movie is by itself not that bad. So I'll probably say, yeah, the Rush Hour movies is definitely one I can think of. Yeah, guys, let me know again down in the comments if you can think of any for yourself. I think that's gonna do it for me. Yeah, that's gonna do it for me. I could stay on here and just jumble on is not even a word. I could just keep carrying on about random ones that I can remember, and this video could be an hour long if I wanted it to be. I love movies so much. I love movies so much. So yeah, this was fun. This was a really nice little thing to think about. So hopefully you're relaxing, also thinking about this as well. And I think it's gonna be it for me. So hopefully you liked my picks, I guess. Let me know down in the comments yours. Like the video. If you did like the video, subscribe to the channel for more randomness that I post. If it's not sports, it's definitely something else. And I love that about this channel. It's just whatever I guess I feel like posting for that day. So yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. So I really hope you have a really good rest of your day or night or whenever you're watching this video. I hope you're doing well. I